Okay, so Ross, can you tell me like the main difference? Like we talked last time about the list.
Okay. So the main difference between those two is that list they're encircled by the square brackets, but tuples are circled by parentheses.
Okay, and then you said it was immutable. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna mute you. And the next question I'll ask Joshua. Joshua, do you know the main difference between a tuple and a dictionary? There's three main differences.
Tuple and dictionary.
Yes.
So tuples cannot be changed, and dictionaries can be changed.
Okay, that's one.
Dictionaries are ordered, and tuples are ordered.
Oh,
Pretty sure.
not. I mean, it's not their order. That's still part of unchangeable. But later in the advanced section, we're going to talk about advanced dictionaries, and there's something called ordered dict and unordered and regular dictionary. So that'll be for later. But what's the two other differences? So what makes up a dictionary?
So it has. Doesn't it have like? It says like a name, and then it has like a value to that.
Yeah, key and value. Okay, that's good. One last thing. What like so like Ross said, a list is circled by brackets, but what is a dictionary encircled by?
Curly brackets.
Yay! You guys remembered. I'm so proud. Okay, good job, you guys remembered. So for I'm gonna mute you. Thank you. So okay,
Yeah.
Adam, do you have any experience working with Python or any other programming languages?
No.
Okay, good. That's why we're all here. Okay, just want to make sure. What else would we do? Okay, so oops. Okay, let's see. Lacey, do you know what the print function does? It's okay if you don't know. So like, do you have a kind of slight instinct what it might do?
It prints out the thing that you typed.
Not quite. It just returns the value that you inputted for it to print. So kind of, it's okay. Good job. All right, next up, what else? Let's see. Can I mute? Why isn't it muting? Okay, Lacey, can you mute yourself? It's not working for me. Thank you very much. Okay, new stuff. Oh yeah, wait, no, we still talked about. So Yu Ying, can you talk?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you remember what an if-else statement is?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me? It's okay if you don't know. Yeah, okay, so when you know, when you remember, when you know, just raise your hand. Well, actually, I'm just gonna. Okay, so an if statement is kind of like a control flow. It controls the flow of what Python does. So let's say if my cat is hungry, then I'm gonna do something, and then I'm gonna write else. So else means like if it's anything but hungry, then I'm gonna do something else. So that's basically that. All right, let's get to chaining comparison operators. So here are a few logical operators to combine comparisons. So it's and, or, and not. So what I mean by chaining comparison operators, so it's like saying if x is greater than 2 or x is smaller than 5, and then use colon and then you do something. So it's kind of like that. And then you could write if name equals to, and remember there's two equal signs, if name equals to Ross and name equals to Baram, then it's gonna do something. And then not, well, you could just make it equal to, remember what not was represented by? You guys, any of you remember what not is represented by? Yeah, Yu Ying, yes?
Exclamation mark.
Yes, good job, exclamation mark. I'm glad you remembered. Okay, so Ross, were you gonna say the same thing? Ross? Okay, so yeah. So it's exclamation mark. So you could just say if exclamation mark equals to 5, that means if x not equal to 5, then do something. So that's how you chain comparison operators. Next up, we're gonna talk about loops. So instead of writing print x 3 times, you could, hold on, let me open up Anaconda. You could let it just use a for statement, for loop, or while loop. If you want it to run forever and then when it's done you break it, then you use a while loop. But for loop is you can control how many.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh. I'm gonna have to stop your video. Yeah. Okay, so it was really funny because I heard someone say, I need to poop. So, like in Chinese, I heard someone say, I need to poop, if I was wrong. Okay, so either way, while and for. I'm gonna have to edit that video afterwards. Can't show faces. Okay, so let me open up my Jupyter notebook. And okay, by the way, I need a census from you guys. So so there's 7 of you so far. And then there's that girl who needed to poop. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, unmute your mics and tell me how clear my mic is because I'm using this crappy mic. So just tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how good it is. Starting with starting with don't want chaos here. Okay, so Ross, how good is my mic so far?
8.5 to 9.
Okay, that's pretty good considering my mic is 7 years old. Okay. Adam, how good's my mic?
7.
Okay. Wait, why is there so many people here? Okay, so Joshua, how good's my mic?
Solid 7.
Okay, solid 7. Okay. Not the best, not the worst. But like last time I used the mic, I forgot to change it and then the voice didn't get recorded inside. So that's why I'm using this one. So good thing you guys can hear me. So can anyone read this for me? Read this for me. I'm sorry I make you guys read. I know English sucks. ELA sucks, okay? Hashtag ELA sucks. Can anyone read this for me? Okay, Ross, yes, you go.
While and for. While loops are part of the control flow team and allow code to be executed repeatedly based on a given Boolean condition. A for loop is a control flow for specifying iteration, which which allows code to be executed repeatedly.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's go here and let's open. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, you guys can. Okay, that's good. Always title it IP12. All right. So for y'all new people here, remember it's always at 6:30, and this is always the same code. Okay, this is always the same. All right. Yeah, here we go. So let's start with the easier one. Okay, so this is a for loop because it starts with 4. And then here you could just write literally anything. Just don't put a space in there. So I'm gonna write, but make sure it's easy to remember because you're gonna have to use it later. I'm gonna call it for Google. And now we're gonna control how many times it runs. So we're gonna call it for Google in range, and then 0 to 5. Don't forget the colon, and then you print. Remember the print statement? Print Google. So watch what it does. So it's gonna go from 0 to 4, and then if you change that to one, it's gonna go to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want to go to 5, you just have to add 1 because it always runs 1 below the range you put it in. Now my cat's meowing again. It's okay. So Google is kind of this random thing you can put it. So for Google in 5 times, because it's 6 minus 1 times, but see, it runs 5 times. So if it's 0, 5, comma 5, then it's 5 minus 0, and it's gonna be 1. So no, 5 minus 0 is 5. Yeah. So it runs 5 numbers, and then it's gonna start from the first number and then end after doing 5 numbers. And then when you print Google, Google is gonna be the number that represents like the starting number, and then you do that. So basically, or you could just you make it an integer, and then you add 1, and then you just make 2, 3, 4. Bro, can you like stop drawing on there? Who the heck is drawing on there? If you keep drawing, I'm gonna ban you. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm kidding. No. Aha, okay, so let me just clear you. See, this wastes a lot of time. Okay, now I sound like my stupid teacher. So basically, where was I? You add 1, and then all the numbers just get added in as a 1. Now, do you guys understand this, or do you guys understand this? My cat understands it. Okay, Ross, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. So I saw you one of your previous videos. Yeah, I understand that for loops work a bit not a bit really differently from in JavaScript. But what is there anything else you could put instead of the in?
Or not
Or
really. You just put for Google in. It has to be in because remember I said for loops are like you have to count how many times it does. So there's really no way to count it on this unless you that. So it's kind of like in Scratch. When you do for loops, it kind of does. Anyone use Scratch? You know Scratch.net.
yeah. Well, I do.
Okay,
Me
Ross.
too.
Okay,
I do.
Ross. So
it's not just Ross.
Stop.
It's me and Ross. It's Sherwin and Ross.
Okay.
Oh, I sorry. I can't see your faces. Okay, so in Scratch, you have this for loop, and it shows how many times you can run the for loop. So, and then that's why you can control it. So it's kind of like Python. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
All right, so any other questions? Oh yeah, I saw Joshua had a question. Yes, Joshua.
Can you just like explain how the definition's related to, you know, like the for loop?
I mean, for loops.
Because I just don't really understand the definition.
Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so here we go. Here's that.
So what does an iteration mean?
So an iteration is like, I mean, you can search it up. So basically, the difference is like, you can control how many times it runs. Well, bro, Cleo, I'm gonna. Okay, hold on. I gotta do something real quick. Bye, Cleo. Okay, that was Cleo. I finally found out who that was, and I got him out. So, really, in here you can control how many times it runs. Well, this either true or false controls how many times it runs. So if you want to do a video game, so a video game, the larger cycle, like it's like game over and you want to press start. So when you want to press start and do the game over, you want to do a while loop. So like while true, and then it's gonna, I'm gonna pass it for now. It's gonna do some stuff. And then at the end, it's gonna break. Okay, so that's kind of like start and then game over. But for loops are kind of like for each time you run 1
Limited?
mile. What?
Limited? And like while loops are unlimited?
While loops are like,
You
they
like
are
that?
unlimited, but you can end them whenever you want. So like, and then you can just say if game over, and then like game over is kind of like something that I created, and then you can break it. So you understand? But here, if I want to like mine gems, so for each time I press a button, and blah, 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 and then I can do something. But so basically while loops are the big picture, but for loops are the details that can like support the big picture. You understand? Joshua, you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ross, I'm gonna mute you for now. Yeah, do you still need to ask a question, or can I just lower your hand? Okay, I'm gonna just lower your hand. All right, any other questions, guys? Am I talking too fast? Holy crap, we only have 9 minutes left. Okay, we need to spice things up. All right, now functions. Functions, we did a functions before, and here I did this really crappy design. And so a function is a block of code which only runs when it's called. So that's pretty useful. You can pass data known as parameters. So parameters are when, so when you need to use a parameter, you put it in here, in this thing, you know, in this parentheses. And then a function can return data as a result. We call functions, meaning running them, writing the name of the functions in parentheses. So here you call the function, and here you define the function. Anyone got some problems? Oh, P1B, yeah, I'm gonna mute you. So P1B, son Henry, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but just want to let you know, class starts at roughly 6:30 and ends at roughly 7. So yeah, it's a notice to everyone. And if then this is the, okay, weird name guy just left. Okay, so now functions. Yes, we were on functions. Call define. Yes, sir. Now let's define a function. Actually, remember how at the beginning we defined a function around right here? I think it was here we defined the function. Yeah, here we go. So we defined a function called pizza. And here we did some raw inputs and we did some inting and we did some variables. We did the if statement, else statement. We printed stuff. We did some strings and we did concatenation and all that stuff. So, but here, as you can see, here we define the function. It's all in a indented block. As you can see, there's nothing that's out of indent. Everything's perfectly in order. And if you break that order, bad things are gonna happen. I'm sorry, man, but just bad things are gonna happen. So don't do it. And then here we call the pizza by its name. So it can be anything as long as there's no spaces. If you do spaces, and then, oops. Yeah, see, you can't have spaces. So, but you can rename them. So, let's see. I'm gonna know you guys, some of you guys better. Since you're new, Adam, how old are you?
9.
Okay, you're 9. Okay,
Actually
9.
10.
Oh, okay, you're
I just turned 10.
Okay, let's just say you're 9 because I already typed it in. Actually, I can rerun it. Oh no, I can't rerun it. It's gonna break. What is your name? Adam. Oof, Adam is 9 years old. Okay. Okay. And then, so you said you were 10, but that doesn't really change anything because that's what the program is. Yeah, it's yeah, it doesn't change much. All right, so Benjamin, can you talk?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How old are you? You sound like you're 16.
No, like 12.
Oh, I'm 13. How's your voice so deep? Okay, so basically all of you are babies, just want to make sure. Okay, so everyone is that, and that's kind of how what's it called, functions work. Do any of you have questions? That would be a solid no. Okay, good. All right, let's see. So we're kind of running out of time, but week 3 part 2 is actually pretty quick. So we're gonna briefly go over it, and yeah. So star args. This is actually called star args. So make sure you say star args next time. And then here is double star quarks. So args stands for arguments, and this allows user to take in multiple arguments in form of a tuple. I'll show you what it means later. And then quarks. It stands for keyword arguments, and it allows user to take in multiple arguments in form of a dictionary. So quarks, keyword arguments. All right, hold on. Let me let me show you real quick how it's done. So let me go back here and yeah, hold on. Let's see here and yeah, hold on. Yeah, hold on. I had to go get something. So All right, so this is how keyword arguments work. So we're gonna define myfunc. So it's called myfunction. It's short for myfunction. And we're gonna, it says in the type of a tuple. So we're gonna use A, B. This isn't using quarks right now. You're gonna use it later. And then, so this is just the return sum. We're gonna return the sum of A and B. And then we're gonna times it by 0.05. Oops. I'm saying oops. Times 0.05. And then you call it myfunc. And then here you could just do what's it called, 45, and then that. And then you get that. So that's kind of a simple function with A, B. So this is kind of like tuple unpacking. This is called tuple unpacking, or probably it is. Anyway, so, and then as you get more and more, you could call it C equals 0, and then D equals 0, and then so on, just in case you don't need them. But right now it's going to return the same thing because, you know, it's 0, and then you just, but here if you want to add this, it changes it because the default value of C is 0, but when you add a value that replaces C, it becomes that value. So you could do that on and on and on, but there's a better way, and it's called args. Okay? Like, but as soon as you hit like even more and more and more, it's gonna give you errors. So this is why you should use args. So what args does is it lets you do unprecedented things. Like, hold on, let me screen share better. So let me screen share. Oh, I'm already screen sharing. So here you could just put it as is star args, and then here you could just so now you return the sum of args. So here you just do, you don't need this anymore, you just do args. Remember, you don't need the star, you just write args, and then you just do, yes, Joshua, do you have a question? I didn't finish yet, but yes, do you have a question?
Can you only put like star args, and can you only
good
put
question.
it in
Yes,
function?
oh, sorry. Yeah, I understand your question. I was gonna talk about it deeper next time, but since you said it, I'm just gonna do this. Hold on. So as you can see, after I run this, it's the same thing, and the more I put, it still works, and there's no limit. So that's kind of like the power of args. Now, notice how passing the keyword args into the sum function does the same thing. Oh my god. Can you guys please not show your faces? Because like I'm tired of editing your videos. Okay, so where was I? So as you can see, it did the same thing as like a bunch of tuple arguments. So really, you can call it anything. Like you can call it spam and you put that in there and it still works. But the name is called args, okay? You could call it subscribe to the Chomania, and then here you do the same thing. I don't know, maybe you should subscribe to him, and then it does the same thing. So does that answer your question, Joshua?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about Quarks, yeah, sure, quarks. So we're gonna kind of define another function and this time we're actually gonna call it quarks. Okay, and then now we're gonna do a fruit. So we're gonna write if fruit in quarks, and then we're gonna write let's see, we're gonna do f string formatting. Okay, it's gonna be called f string formatting, and so it's basically using f and then you do my favorite fruit is, and then you put quarks like that, so that's called f string formatting. And then what we're gonna do is, so I hope you guys have your things open. So now we're gonna use an else. So else, and then we're gonna do we're gonna print, let's see, I don't like that fruit. We're gonna print I don't like that fruit. So we're gonna call it I don't like that fruit. Actually, I'm gonna put 2. All right, so it's gonna do that. And then we're gonna call it. And now we're gonna, call it. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna do. I'm sorry. There we go. Now we're gonna run it. Oops. What? It says. Did I put it wrong? Quarks. So let's see. Argument fruit. Did I forget it too? Oh, hold on. Let me. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Hold on. I forgot to add something in there. Hold on. Okay, so later when we get to using our command prompt or command line, we're gonna have to use pip import, and if you don't import some things, it's not gonna work. So now let me reshare, but right now that's kind of not really the case. So there we go. My favorite fruit is pineapple. So what went wrong there is I forgot to write fruit in there. So let me just explain this. So keyword double star keyword arguments, it's you just do if fruit in, so if there's the word fruit in there, and then you're gonna print my favorite fruit is, or you could just use the thing we did last time, you use addition symbols, but here you just copy this, and then you could, yeah, so if you have any pineapples in there or like any fruits in there, then it's gonna return the true version. So it's gonna say if, so it's gonna return yes to the if, and then it's gonna say yes, my favorite fruit is pineapple. And then here you can also say favorite fruit is, but okay, I'm kidding. Water. Water is not a fruit, okay? Water. And yeah, so here's how to save your thing. So you just press on here, and then you can leave it. Okay, so hey guys, in case you don't know, this is my face. Please don't show your faces, because for privacy reasons. And I told you guys I hate editing videos just because of the faces. So please don't do that. And where did that baby go? Okay, anyway, now this is the most important part. Okay, you guys are okay. Are all of you situated in the U.S. or U.S. or Canada? U.S. or Canada? Okay, raise your hand if you're in like in China or any other place. Okay, no one's in Korea? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is the most important part. If you guys are already subscribed to me, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. But here I am, and oh, I just got. Let's see. Okay, thank you, Adam. Thank you for subscribing, guys. I make math videos. I do funny videos, and I upload videos I find on my phone each time. And it would be great if you guys could subscribe. I also add my Python videos here, so that's great. And I add some random videos I made too. So yeah, that's that. It'd be great if you guys just subscribe. And I know that those of you who do subscribe, you guys are amazing. Thank you. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for attending if you're new. And oh, by the way, my channel is called Teacher Maenias. TheChomania. So yeah,